Hi, church. I'm recording this from here for two reasons. One is that we keep forgetting to say thank you to Ginny and Shalom for doing such a nice job of doing some fall decor in this room, as you can see when I get out of the way. So thanks, Ginny and Shalom, for putting in that time and doing that. Second thing is that our elders thought it would be helpful to use this format to let you know, again, why we're doing what we're doing in worship. Uh, Last Sunday, I gave a definition of worship from John Piper that I like a lot. Worship is reflecting back to God, the radiance of his worth. God calls us to worship. Romans 12 says we're to worship God with our whole lives, offer our whole lives for God to God in worship. But also, Psalm 100 says, worship the Lord with gladness, and the idea is to gather for worship. So council's goal, and here's the main point here, council's goal is to make it possible for as many of us as possible to worship together. And we've given options for that in our judgment are responsible. Our COVID advisory team, as well as experts overall, say that mask wearing is the thing to do inside, and that the riskiest behavior in worship is singing. So those are key decision-making factors in the options that we're making available. Option number one is, we all know, and we've been doing this since March, is doing something online, which has been a little bit like putting an airplane together in flight. But we want to make that a meaningful worship experience as much as we can. We're continuing to work on that. And what did I want to say about that? Just that. That for some of us at high risk of severe illness with COVID, that is the option we need to make available right now, and we'll continue to make that available ongoing. Some folks are just not able to get out and all of that. And then others are at a spot where they just feel, in-person worship for me and for our family right now is just not responsible. So that's option number one. Others of us, here's option number two. There are some folks in our church family who feel like, it's a reasonable risk to gather in person, but if there's not singing. So we're making that option available. At 9 o'clock, we have in-person worship with masks, without singing. And some folks are coming to that service because that is what we've agreed to do together. A third option, some folks feel it's a responsible risk to worship in person with singing. So our 11 o'clock service, in person, with masks, with some singing. God calls us to worship. God deserves it. Council's goal, again, is to make it possible for as many of us as possible to worship together. And we put options out there that we feel are responsible in the spot we're in. I'll be the first to say, and everybody on council would say this, there is no one right, perfect answer to this. We can't go to a Bible verse and say, well, here's what we're supposed to do here. We're using our best judgment. And so we're continuing to think, to pray, to evaluate. We welcome your thoughts and prayers, but just wanting to be clear in this format why we're doing what we're doing. And I hope that we can all join our prayer to Jesus' prayer to the church, that we be one in love and in purpose, so that the world sees a little bit of God in us and is motivated and drawn to join us in reflecting back to God the radiance of his worth. That's what we're about. This COVID time is just tough. Every day it seems like there's a new thing to deal with on every level of our lives. I want you to know I'm excited about, as we go through this, I think God's going to bring us through to a spot of greater effectiveness. I'm both sometimes weighed down by this and excited by it. But that, that's another deal. Thanks for your time, one way or another. See you Sunday.